Hello everyone, welcome back to the midweek milk run. It's, what time is it? It's 5:30 and the squeaking I have not fixed, but my eyes hurt. I've got a headache from staring at screens all day, and I thought, why didn't I just do the milk run? I haven't driven the car for absolutely ages, well, since the last milk run, and I thought I'd go out. And I didn't know what the theme of this video would be, so there's a couple of things that just occurred to me, because you know me, I don't like to plan ahead very far. Not that I don't like to, I just don't. So it might be that I talk about a couple of things and I might just go off into a rant, because I'm in a ranty kind of mood, because I'm feeling a bit shitty about a few things, but yeah, apart from my eyes hurting and feeling super sleepy, I've had this thought that just occurred to me as I was getting in the car, and I was thinking, oh yeah, about my YouTube channel, about I should grow it, and then I had a couple of videos appear on my stream that were just about how to grow your channel, how to monetize and stuff like that. And then I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll call this video Why can't I grow my YouTube subscribers? And I'll put it in capitals, because the video that I saw, well, I saw 5 minutes of it, this lady, I can't remember her name, I should say her name, get her name, she's an American lady, and she's kind of gone from, I think in 2 years, so I think 2 or 3 years ago, she made a video saying, I've just hit 1,000 subscribers. And I think she's at 300,000 now. But bizarrely, her videos, right from the word go, are all about building a YouTube channel. And apparently, that's stuff that people watch. So I am not going to do that. Someone is ringing me. It's my mum. I shall call her in a bit. So I'm not going to start talking about those things, but I do know that why my video is rubbish is because I'm not consistent. I don't upload new videos at the same time every week. I don't do multiple videos. I don't do video blogs where I'm out walking, which I should actually, because it's a lot easier. Because every time I go for the milk run, then I have to go and find the camera, make sure it's charged, plug it in, set it up, get my microphone, and then head out. But also, the keywords that I use are just really basic ones. So I put in 996, daily driver, Porsche, sports car, budget, that kind of stuff. And what I should be doing is finding more niche keywords. Because if you just put the big ones in, like 996, and everyone's looking at 996s on YouTube or search engines or eBay or Trade or whatever it might be, then my video won't be ranked above the big YouTubers, because there's loads of them doing that. So I need to have a think about that. But also, what I should be saying is thank you to everybody who messaged, who has been messaging me on Instagram and YouTube, and also people who have subscribed. Now, there's also a few people who've been asking me about merchandise, like actually quite a few people, and whether I'd sell logoed flat caps. And someone, El Ray I think it is, on YouTube, I'm sorry, that's the only name that I know you by, because I think that's your username on Instagram and YouTube, I suggested that I could have a few items that I could give away. Now, I prefer that idea, I think, but I don't know. I need to work out where I would get such things from, how I would get the logo. I'd design a logo, obviously, but I would get the design, and I would get them created, and then I'd have to decide how I give them away. But also, I really need to think about how I'm going to grow my channel, because at the moment I'm not, and I keep talking about it, but I don't do anything about it. So I need to think about how I do that. And I mean, my content is my content. I talk about one of the cars that I've got, the things that I've been finding out, talking to people about, and if I have any plans. So one of the plans that I did have was to go and test drive a 992 manual and really think about, what does it mean? What do they cost? What more does it give me than my £6,500 996, apart from the lack of that squeaking? So I phoned the dealership. I'd gone on the website first, had a look, and kind of nationally they said they only had 4 911s, all PDK. And then he said, look, I'll look at all stock anywhere that I can find, and I'll tell you what, I'll go and bring it down to my local dealership if I find one. And he couldn't find one. And he said nobody's buying manual 911s anymore. Which is a bit weird, because surely it's an evolution in how... Is it the type of person who's buying it? Because I know lots of people who love manual cars, but then are people now buying them? Is it a symptom of 911s becoming everyday cars? If someone says, well, I want to buy it, it's going to rack up huge amounts of mileage, and I want to be comfortable sat in traffic, kind of thing. But then, on the flip side, I saw a video, Sam Seen Through Glass, great video, of a 997 GT3 that had 175,000 miles on it. I'd say go and watch that. And he still said it's fantastic. But he did say that it looked like it'd been really well looked after. It had all the service intervals. What a glorious noise! And I got that in just before it started to rain. Anyway, so just on that point, so Lee Sibley, that 911 guy, and Total 911, I think he's a journalist. So he did a video for Design 911, who sell Porsche stuff, and about what to do on an older 996, for example, and how to prolong their life. And he said about, don't do short journeys, make sure it's minimum 20 minutes, don't give it the beans unless you're up to temperature and stuff like that. And I didn't see this video, but FlatSix Jack sent it to me, and he kind of said, this is you, but the opposite. Yeah, because I basically get in it, and if I'm on a clear road, I'll put my foot down. And I feel like I'm going to massively regret that one day. And I should do all those things that Lee talks about, so I should do that. But anyway, I've totally forgotten what I was talking about. Oh yeah, a symptom of the type of people who buy those cars and use them every day. So, and the GT3 with 175,000 miles. So the guy was getting it serviced at every interval, and he was using it for going across Europe. And some years he was driving 30,000 miles a year. So I think, they're made for the mileage, but yet everybody talks about, well, if it's got 40,000 miles, it doesn't matter. The age is irrelevant when people talk about mileage on cars like a GT3. If it's got 60,000 miles, oh, that's a bit high. But do you know what? It's like 15 years old. So, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that. I would say if you get it, hang on, how much did he buy it for? Was it 40,000, 38,000 or something like that? Which sounds bargainous. Not that I could afford that. So, yeah, I've kind of got myself all distracted again. So it was all about growing my YouTube channel, and people like, Seen Through Glass, that 911 guy, even the way he's done it. Tyler, he's brilliant the way he's grown his channel. But I haven't got any kind of, I don't have access to cool cars. I think my cars are quite cool. My 996, now that it's kind of clean. I like my 912. Oh, my 912, which I have tried to lower at the front, so I just wound it all the way down. But it still sits quite high, so I need to fix that. But I'll do that in another video. But I might talk next. So I bought myself Strada Magazine. Now I posted that on Instagram that I had done, and the thing I like about Strada Magazine is, well, not that I like about it, I used to read modern classics all the time, because they're all cars that I grew up with, 80s, 90s, you know, where you would see it in my youth. I would see these cars and I'd think, oh, that's a really great car, I'd love to have that one. And now you look at them and you think, I could probably afford that, and I would only be buying it and driving it for nostalgia's sake, and I probably wouldn't want to keep it. But I love that magazine, and it was something I looked forward to. I'd go and sit and have a coffee somewhere, which I can't do at the moment because we're in lockdown, and read that, and I would consume it, devour it in one go, and then wait for the next one. So it's the same team of people who've launched, or same editor that I know of, who's launched this magazine called Strada, which is a different type of magazine. It kind of caters for a different market. The cars are a bit more expensive. The publication is very glossy. It's like the Vogue of car magazines. It's quarterly, and the articles are really big. And the thing I like about it is that I just got it delivered, so I've not started reading it. I've just flicked through it. But you know, you've got the high-end advertisers and the glossy print, and the articles are really in depth and with great photography. And what I can do now is I can have a coffee at lunchtime and read an article, and it's a quarterly mag, so it will take me a few days. I can't do it every day, read an article, so it might take me a few weeks to get through it. But anyway, the exciting thing is I had a conversation over the phone with Nathan, who's the editor, and he was the editor of Modern Classics, and I love the way he thinks about cars. He's not a Porsche fan, I should warn people, although they do talk about the 924S, is it? Not the 924S. There's a Porsche front-engined car that he talks about. There's an article about. I've not read it yet. But anyway, we had a conversation, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to read that magazine and review it. Obviously, I'm not being paid to do that, but I would just like to do that. And then after that, I'm going to get him on and we're going to have a chat. So I'll probably Zoom with him. I don't know how I'm going to do it technology-wise. We'll have a conversation, just chew the fat about his opinion and what he thinks is happening with printed media, what's happening in the car market. Because the thing that I spoke to him about, and I said, look, I struggle with is, at the moment, my community of people that I can nerd out about cars with, not nerd out, but sit and talk to about, is you. People on YouTube, on Instagram. I have about 2 people that I know in real life that I can meet, or 3 that I can meet and just talk about cars and unashamedly talk about cars. But otherwise, I don't really know. You know, when someone says to me, oh yeah, I'm thinking about getting a new car, and they go into real detail about, you know, a Qashqai or something, or whatever it might be, but it's some sort of nondescript, boring SUV thing that I've got no interest in. And when people talk about those kind of things, I just can't get excited about them. But if someone says I've got a rubbish old car that I've had for 15 years and I'm using it and I'm loving it, then so you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do that. I don't know what format it's going to take. I'll have to come up with some kind of arc that we're going to discuss. But not having somebody to just go phone up, text, meet up with for a coffee who lives locally and say, oh, you know, let's sit and have a chat about X thing that I saw. You know, that would be the ideal. But I still enjoy doing these videos, and I enjoy them because I get feedback. So when we talk about things, people come back and, you know, respond to something I've said, or I'm responding to something that someone else has said. So those are the kind of things that I want to do. And also, should I make that a regular thing? Have guests on? But I don't know how I would get those guests, because Nathan, I think we just started messaging after I was devastated about modern classics, and I reached out to him, and that's how our conversation started. So I could get, it'd be great to chat to him about the magazine, about him, about how people perceive older cars, classic cars, 90s cars. Those are the interesting cars that you could get into now and just drive every day, and enjoy them every day, because they're reliable, they're practical, safe. But those 90s cars, all the bits that make them go, they're sort of going out of production, if that makes sense. And niche little providers are coming out that that supply them, but eventually, I don't know, manufacturers aren't supporting a lot of them. But anyway, those are the kind of things I'm thinking about. And also, what about 3D printing? Some bits that cost a huge amount of money, like the center caps for my Fuchs wheels on my 912. They're £60 each if I bought them new, £105 for 4 on eBay. But surely I could 3D print them, couldn't I? I don't know. So those are the kind of things that I want to think about. Will I get in trouble for doing that? I don't know. And just, I guess lockdown is being eased a little bit, but some people have just gone bonkers. I'm hoping there's not going to be a massive spike in infection rate, and there's no more hospital admissions, no more people dying, no more variants of the virus, and I'll be able to get my vaccine. I'll be able to go and see my mum, who I haven't seen in person for so long. So yeah, I mean, but I think that's it. I don't think I want to talk about anything more. And the weather improving. The weather should be improving. There's still salt on the roads, even though the date is the 15th of April. So there's still salt, loads of salt on the roads, because it was -2 like 2 nights ago. So I'm going to I need to check when I can take my 912 out. I need to adjust the camber and toe on the back, so which means jacking it up, taking the wheel off, loosening off the bolts for the spring plates, blah, 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 all of that stuff, which at the moment I feel like life's too short for that. And life's too short for washing cars, life's too short for being on conference calls, life's too short for doing documents, but that's what pays the bills. And when I was thinking about, there's because I work in technology, and I was thinking about, well, I'm not really doing anything that there's a couple of sort of movements within technology about race in technology and women in technology, and I have daughters, so they're going to be women of color growing up in the world, and I want to be a part of making that a better place for them. And then I was saying to my wife the other day that I was really frustrated because all of these things are going on in the industry where people are trying to make a difference. And what am I going to say to them when they say to me, "What did you do to change the world?" And I'll be like, "I'm really sorry, girls, I was too busy doing a document." Like that. So, that's something that keeps me awake. When it shouldn't. Why am I stressing about that? I'm stressing about everything at the moment. I'm not sleeping. I'm staring at screens all day. So that's what I'm saying. Subscribe, hit like, post comments, because I'm going to grow this channel and I'm going to make it something that distracts me from all of that other stuff. It's never going to be a thing that people talk about side hustles. Well, in lockdown and a pandemic, you've got to have a side hustle. Well, to me, it's something that keeps me sane, and I feel like you're my therapy. It keeps me sane doing this, and at the moment, I'm not doing it in a way that kind of, you know, I'd be able to monetize, but I don't know if I'd enjoy doing it then. Because, you know, when I look at some videos, and I just think, you know, it's got 35,000 views in a day, but I guess if I'd seen the previous 50 videos that person had done, it would have context and I'd be interested. I don't know. I don't really know. So, but again, I need to be more clear in what I do, and I'm hoping that people will appreciate it and want to watch it, want to engage. And, you know, if I got 30,000 views and people didn't engage and didn't message me to say, oh, I've done this, or that thing that you've done, yeah, I did that, or that thing that you did was hilarious, that'd be great. No, I mean, if they didn't reach out to me, then what would be the point? You know, I know people who work in certain industries where I could probably maneuver an angle to get into a fancy car, but that's not what this channel was about. And yeah, so anyway, that's where I am. That was I don't even know what that video was about. I don't even know what this called that video. I don't know what to call this video now, because I was thinking, oh, I know, I'll call it "Why Isn't My YouTube Channel Growing?" Maybe I'll do that. I'll just call it that, and then I can never get a succinct title because I ramble on about so many different things, and sometimes it's ranty ramble. I don't know. So anyway, I've just confused myself. So I'll end there. Thank you for everyone for watching. And again, please subscribe, hit like, message, and I will do another video soon. Thank you for watching.